Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with yet another slime video. Again, going into Inferno 3. I told you that the fun, weird teams would get their own special video, and that is what we are doing today. We are using Vengeance versus Inferno 3. As of recording this, the Vengeance rerun has not yet begun, but it will in the next few days. I think it starts on the 3rd or the 4th, so just a couple days from now. So this team, you may not have it now, but I know a lot of people have been saving for the Vengeance rerun, and it is finally soon upon us. So it is a team that can definitely get this stage done because it is very defensive, and they do attack you a lot. They have a decent amount of HP, 780k, so it will take a few turns of actual Vengeance stacks to kill them, but because they do stack up very fast, it is a very efficient alongside the stage not nerfing green orbs. So if we take a look at it, this is what I have built after we put some stamina in. There we go. Okay, there we go. So we've got Velzard, we've got free-to-play Aaron, we've got skill-fused trainee. Now, if she's not skill-fused, she does lose a bit of value, and you might be better off bringing, like, Isis or something. But a 100 skill-fused trainee does give us that pierce debuff on the enemy and the 50% ult damage resistance, which is pretty big since on turn 5, they ult us 3 times, and they're all AoEs. So if we can have that up, that really cuts down the damage that we take, plus she's healing all of that damage back, almost. And then we've got free-to-play Yom, and then free-to-play Trya. And again, if you don't have her, bring another or like green orb changer. You could bring Summer, or not Summer, but Wind Lumi. She's also a healer, plus the special convert. And then we've got Space Raphael, who is strong enough to tank in this fight, assuming you don't take a bunch of ults without having some defense up. So Velzard is able to get the counterattack, the Vengeance counter strikes, and reset all skills across the board, no matter if they're front or back line. That's a very powerful effect. Overlord Rimuru only resets the front line. Velzard is resetting everyone, doesn't matter where they are. But turn 1, obviously, we don't have an orb changer to handle these blues. But if you have the big 3 fully traded out, these 4 blues will get you a stack of Velzard, which is pretty important. So the first turn, we're going to be a little bit undefended right here. Trya does have type advantage, technically, so we brought her in. I don't want to bring Rimuru in quite yet, because I don't want him to take any unnecessary attacks before he has extra defense. And there we go. That's what we need. We need a stack of Velzard, and we need perfect orb changes, or at least enough to get a full 6-hand of greens working. I'm running the protection gauge on green charm, so that'll help us cycle Velzard faster and better. So Trainee will come in, and then Raphael will come in, full 6-hand of greens, and this will get us a lot of points because Velzard is active, or will be active now, and everyone will have the Vengeance Counter-Strike. And this is pretty much how I want to run the front line. We've got the healer, we've got Yom, and we've got Raphael, and we'll just spread the damage. I actually think Yom does the most damage out of anyone here. 1100, 600, he didn't have any orbs there, but he does the most on his normal orbs, for some reason. More than Trainee, more than Raphael, obviously, because Raphael's type disadvantage. But, there's AoEs. There's a bunch of hits that Raphael took, which is why I didn't want to bring him in turn 1, because he can take damage before we get their defense up. But that's a free 7 stacks of Vengeance in 1 turn. In 1 turn, 7 stacks. That's almost better than what the Vengeance meta was giving us when it was out last year. So we have the ability to get a lot of stacks very quickly, and this team can get the 7-turn mission done if you can ensure that you can get a few extra stacks here and there of Vengeance along the way. So we're going to what are we going to do here? We should guard first off, more than anything else. So I'm trying to decide who I want to put the Vengeance on now. So we're going to seal their pierce and give us the element buff, or element resistance buff, and then we'll put the guard up, and we'll put another 3 stacks of Vengeance on them. We'll use Velzard again to reset everything, so now all the skills are back down to low cost, and we'll just spread the damage with Trya, because she's type, advantage, and she does marginally more. Marginally more damage. But obviously, this team is not meant to do normal orb damage. It's only meant to do vengeance damage, which doesn't affect until turn 5. But these are all AoE attacks. So that's a guaranteed 3, 6, 9 stacks of vengeance. More, actually it's 10, because Milim attacks afterwards, I think. Or is that 9 still? I think she either attacks after that, or she attacks after her ult on 5. One of the turns, but that's a lot of stacks of vengeance in 2 turns that we've gotten, right? And we have the capability of adding at least 6 more every single turn, if we get lucky. Like here, where we only need 1 orb change, so we can bring Aaron in, use her convert, boom, and then bring Yom in, and we've already applied the guard vengeance, and we got Raphael out, so now we can use Yom's physical resistance and vengeance, which physical resistance doesn't matter here, because everyone attacking us is magic. But it is still 3 extra stacks of vengeance. So we're up to 25, and we haven't even started hitting them with it yet. And now we're just going to send alts, because there's no point in saving them. You could bring Overlord Shizu here, and she could have that triple alt swap to greens, instead of bringing Trya or Trainee. But you would lose a healer, or you would lose an orb changer for the first couple of turns before you even get alts. So I didn't really want to take that risk. You could also bring Idol Shuna if you pulled her off the meta banner. That's perfectly acceptable. She's got the double alt swap. It's just that her second skill, the synergy buff, you can't use it here. It wouldn't do anything. So turn 5, we don't have a Velzard, unfortunately, but we do have a full 6-hand of blues. And now, because they're going to alt, we already previously applied that Pierce debuff and the alt resistance, and now we're going to bring Raphael in, who has that, plus the element buff, so he should be able to tank reasonably well, as long as we can seal them. So here I'm checking, and right there at the bottom, 50% resistance against alts, so that's good. Everyone has that skill, so we will seal them for their Pierce, and then we will guard against any follow-ups. The guard does not get affected by... Or alts are not affected by guard rate, it only affects normal orbs, so we'll take full damage, but we're going to take a lot less here. So, counterattack for 1. Perfect. Counterattack for 1. Counters on the Vengeance team are good, because those are just free extra stacks of Vengeance, on top of whatever they're going to do here, which is 3 AoE alts. So, there's 3 stacks. Milim. Here's 3 stacks. Boom. 1 damage on Raphael, type disadvantage, plus a follow-up. So there's the follow-up that I was talking about earlier. And then Ranga, he's got a follow-up, or he's got an AoE ult. So that's 10 stacks right there. So boom. 45 plus the 3 and everything, plus the 2 counterattacks, 45 stacks. That did a lot of damage on that initial turn of vengeance right there. And now, as long as we don't die, they will kill themselves in like 2 or 3 turns from now. So we just have to keep applying vengeance in order to speed it up. That way we can get the kill on turn 7. So we're going to use some skills here that are maybe not as cost effective, but we are adding more. So now we're up to how many stacks? 48 stacks of vengeance on 6 turns. That's pretty good. Pretty good, and we're always getting like full points back, because we're always running orb changers who can get us out of any scenario and get us a full hand, one way or the other, whether it be like 5 greens and an alt, or so forth and so forth. But now, attacks, AoE, 3 stacks, boom. Milim, 1, 2, and then 1, and then a counter, and then another one, boom. Now we're up to 55 stacks, and that does 250 something damage. So here, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what we do. They will die at the end of turn 7 at this point, because we've done so much damage. So we're just going to heal up, we're going to seal them, and we're just going to send these. We're not going to worry about orb changing, because this is the end of the fight. We have won. And that wasn't very hard, right? You don't need Trya. You could bring another orb changer if you want. It doesn't really matter. You don't... I don't know if you need skill-fused Trainee. I didn't try it without her. But you could certainly bring someone else, maybe, Wind Lumi again as a healer and just kind of heal back up from the ult. Or you could bring another defensive focused unit like Light Hinata. So 390k right there, 373, and 352. And there we go. We've won with vengeance within 7 turns with everyone alive. And a type disadvantage unit. And 2 free-to-play units, Yom and Trya. So that was very, very easy giveaway. So if you're ever wondering as a new player why everyone loves the Vengeance team so much, this is why. Because it is very, very hard for you to actually die. and you do so much passive damage after a while that you can't keep up with it. Like, I had the Inferno 3 video go out maybe yesterday or a couple days ago that showed off like some blue tryhard teams where you need a whole butt ton of RNG, and you need EX ults, you need like 300 something points of skills buff to use, and then you drop the Vengeance team, and it's like they kill themselves. They just straight up kill themselves. So this is a very, very good team, and it's only 2 Vengeance units, right? There's 2 more units in this meta that we just straight up don't bring because they don't make a whole butt ton of sense. Veldora and Furry Shuna. Like, they have more Vengeance stacks, but viability isn't really that high because we want green orbs. We don't want more Vengeance because obviously we already did enough. So Vengeance team can get the job done. It's very effective, very efficient, and still one of, if not the best team in the game. So let me know what you guys think, but that's it for me. Take it easy, guys, and I will see you all later.